This is Phase Ed Music. This is Phase Ed Music. This is Phase Ed Music.
everybody. Welcome to another edition, special Christmas episode of That Fantasy Show. I am your local friendly neighborhood YouTuber, Michael Amen, joined by...
the jolly Brian Wilczek.
And Miss Ella.
And Miss Ella. And as we always start our show, Ella, we are going to go ahead and kick off this week with the Pledge of Allegiance. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
America!
I think you get a little slower on that every week.
America.
Is that
Yeah, she's
intentional?
getting like real methodical
Yeah,
and
it's
just...
just
Yeah, I
enunciate.
kind of... Yeah, I like that. That's a good word. Enunciate. Nailed it. I love that we start off our show with that. And we are just going to go because, again, Miss Ella has church this week, and she may want to be able to catch Santa when he calls in. What do you say, Ella, if we jump right in to Ella's Pick 6? Brian, you ready to go?
Yeah, if you didn't catch that, we got Santa's number. We got a special hookup, and he's supposed to call into the show, so stay tuned. But anyway, here's Ella.
So if we jump in, Ella went 3-3 again last week, which still leaves her 4 games under 500 on the season, 42 and 46, which is again not bad for a 6-year-old who knew nothing going into the season, and now pretty sure she recognizes all the logos, wouldn't you say, Brian?
She's getting there.
She's pretty close. I'd say.
What did we
she's
call the Titans last week?
the fancy car or something?
fancy car part people.
Oh yeah, the car thingamajigs, and actually they show up on the radar again this week. But if you're loaded up and ready to go, Brian, we will get Ella going with the first matchup. Ella, who is this and who do you got?
We have the Bengals and the Browns.
2 of our Ohio teams.
Going at it again.
We are born in Ohio. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna go with
Tell the people.
maybe the Bengals.
Bengals?
Maybe
Who
the
dey?
Bengals.
That's a fan favorite of ours.
New York Giants and the Falcons.
The tanking Giants. Who do you got?
Falcons.
Falcons. Good choice.
Falcons, book it.
Cardinals and the Jaguars. Cardinals.
That's easy.
Yep.
One of our
Cardinals.
favorites.
Jaguars, maybe Panthers. It's okay. All right. It's our personal favorite. the
Our
car
favorite.
thingamajigs.
The car thingamajigs and
So this one is the Indianapolis Colts.
The logo might give it away.
Tennessee Titans or the car thingamajigs if you're a fan of that fantasy show.
I'm gonna go with the car thingamajigs because last time I didn't pick.
I like that pick today, Ella.
Look in the Titans.
I like that. She's not going all chalk. I
Is
like
it
that.
is it Will Levis or the other guy today?
I don't know. I'm still not even sure if it's Will Levis or Levis. I don't even know.
I think it's Levis.
It's probably Levis.
I'm
I'm not
fairly
sure who's starting
confident
today.
that.
It may be Mason Rudolph. They're on the upswing, but I feel like they got some fight this week. Let's hope that's a matchup there.
Colts were recommended defensive play this week because of the Titans' reputation of hot garbage. Anywho, getting sidetracked. Sorry, Ella.
Lions
Fan
and the
favorite.
Lions and the Bears. Lions all the way. You know it.
Lions.
Forward down the field.
We're going to stick with the hometown team. Last one up, San Francisco 49ers, Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins and the 49ers. The Dolphins.
That's what you got? We're going to roll with the Dolphins. And as we do a quick recap of what Ella has this week, the Bengals, the Falcons, Cardinals, car thingamajigs,
car thingamajigs,
was it Lions?
Lions and Dolphins. I like the little Dolphins fans.
You know, and I think this could easily go 5-1. That would actually help your record, get you right up to 500, Ella. What do you think?
That's the goal.
Let's go. So as
Thank
we
you.
round out Ella's pick 6,
Bye, people. Have a great day today.
hey, tell them Merry Christmas too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Hey, how about before you go, do you want to say happy birthday to anyone?
Happy birthday, Belle. I love you.
My oldest daughter, Belle, 18 today. Happy birthday, sweetheart. We'll see you here in a little bit. Thank you, Ella, for your pick 6 this week. Stay tuned. Word on the street, we still have Santa joining us here in a little bit.
So, Mike, this week, Christmas this week, huh?
Christmas, big week.
Coming in hot. Christmas Eve Tuesday. The big day's on Wednesday. Obviously, we're festive. We're decked out. We're ready for it.
Santa
And-
Mike.
Yeah, and I think you put together some slides here.
So
the
I wanted to
occasion.
talk about Christmas movies. It's a hot topic, and this week I was trying to take a poll amongst family and friends, a couple coworkers, but everybody's got their favorite Christmas movies or ones they gotta see. So I was like, Brian, it's just like we did our food. This is our food at Thanksgiving. This is the perfect opportunity we could share a little bit of what's our favorites. I was gonna have you set up and go first, Brian,
Okay.
and we're gonna call this Brian and Mike's Pick Six because we were gonna go at 5. We couldn't stop at 5. We got
Yeah.
to 6. Yours kind of has 7-ish. It could count as 6, but what are you gonna do?
All right,
There's
without
too many.
further ado. All right.
Too many.
Bam. Number 1, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. To me, this is my most quotable movie. I think I know like 90% of the lines in this movie, and I'm just like rifle them off the whole movie. I just can't help myself.
Classic.
And for the occasion,
The
Clark
Griswold
W. Griswold,
house.
not to be confused with Jason Voorhees.
I feel like this one gets a lot of play during the holiday season too. There's a lot of about 5 or 6 that you can just find on pretty much any day. I bet you can just scroll through your guide and there it is.
Man, dude,
That's
just
a good
the most
choice.
classic character.
That's a good choice. That's
Cousin
going to be a
Eddie.
lot of people's number one too. Oh, Cousin Eddie, he's got to be one of the most hilarious Christmas movie characters ever.
And when we did Archer's newborn pictures, we drove almost damn near to Cleveland just to get on a little baby set with the trailer and like the sewer hose. And
Oh my
the
god,
Eddie hat.
that is hilarious.
Man, I should have had that queued up. Maybe I'll pull it up for the end of the show.
That's awesome. But a lot of people's favorite movie. You can't go wrong there. What do you got at number 2?
Number 2, Home Alone, and Home Alone 2. They're kind of synonymous with me. Both right up there in the rankings. I mean, just the nostalgia of being a kid watching this movie. You're just like, it's just like the pinnacle for you.
100%. As you're a kid and you just see what Kevin's going through and you think about the endless possibilities for yourself. I could do this. I could fight off these bad guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to save Christmas.
Booby traps.
That's a lot of people's number one. Out of the poll I took, that was number 1. And then you like both of them. I put them together.
Yeah.
We can
You
count
can't
this
forget
as one.
2. 2's
These go hand in hand.
Oh.
I know there's a series of these, but these are the ones. Anything after this, I can't watch if it ain't Kevin.
3's all right. Yeah, but yeah, it's a significant drop off
Yeah.
value when you lose
Nope.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, I need Kevin in it.
3.
Okay.
All right. Controversial pick here. I threw this
Absolutely.
in 3 just because I love this movie, and there's always like, oh, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. I think we got Bruce Willis himself saying Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Like, what does he know? It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, hot topic debate, but it has become a cult classic. That's a Christmas movie.
Yippee-ki-yay. All right. Then we got the Santa Claus, another one. This just brings nostalgia back for me.
Yeah.
I remember watching this as a kid, just like, man, Santa's just going down
And-
the chimneys and all that stuff.
And how about the role Tim Allen played in this or this whole series? Like he did these roles justice. He was just wonderful
Mm-hmm.
in these. These are good. You're not wrong here.
Another one, the first one's the best.
Absolutely.
And we got to get into it. Silent Night, Deadly Night. We
Okay.
got to throw the Christmas horror movies. Shout out to Jaws for exposing me to this one. Ah, man. Santa goes rogue.
Okay.
Just be on his nice list or he'll punish
So
you.
I'll be
all
honest,
right?
this one I haven't seen. So given that it's on your list, I'm gonna end up checking it out.
Hey,
But
I got the Blu-ray upstairs. You can take it home.
yeah, and you're a huge horror fan, and this falls right in line with who you were. So when I was getting these graphics together, I'm like, I'm gonna have to check these out because I'll be honest,
Just
haven't seen
remember-
this one.
Punish. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And what do you got next?
Rounding out Black Christmas. So this is kind of where the cult Christmas movies started.
Right.
This one's another one. There's Santa Claus doesn't make an appearance, but it's just as scary. You got the Christmas theme. It's like on a college campus, but I had to throw some horror ones in there.
And-
So
Again, another one I haven't seen, but yeah, I'm interested.
Add it
It's
to the
piqued my
list.
interest. I gotta check it out. If it's on anybody's list, let me check it out.
all right,
If anybody in the chat too, we'll open this up to the chat. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Go ahead, tell
favorite
us.
Christmas movie, Chad. We'll come back to you after Mike's picks.
And then what
Mike's
you got
pick
here?
6.
So that's just rounding out
Yep.
yours.
There's my summary there.
It's a pretty solid list.
Yeah, we
Pretty
got
solid.
we cover a lot of ground there. There's action movies. There's horror movies.
Yeah, that's definitely a dad's list right there
Yeah.
for sure.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go over to mine. This is my number one, hands down. you know, like I get a little emotional in this one. I'm not gonna lie. This one, to me, it's got everything. The title is descriptive. I consider myself a family man or a family guy, whatever you want to call it. You know, I just nothing more. I love being a dad, and yeah, this to me is a good one. Not a lot of people know about it. Nicolas Cage is the big star. Téa Leon. Yeah, this one it's got everything to me. Don Cheadle plays a hilarious role in this too.
Yeah.
Love
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it, so I'll have to make this a priority.
It's a bit longer. Most of the Christmas movies seem a little short. I feel like this one goes almost 2 hours, but yeah, this one gets me going. Shed a little tear every once in a while to this one. Then my next one, get away from the serious
we got to
stuff.
get the comedy in there.
And like I said with Tim Allen playing those roles for the Santa Claus, Will Ferrell played the most believable role that I could imagine in any Christmas movie. Like when you're watching that, and I was grown watching this, so you know I don't get the magic of being a kid watching this, but I can't imagine if I watched this with kid eyes how well he did this. This was so believable. Obviously this is funny, this is cute. When they're trying to sing at the end to get the power to Santa's sleigh going,
yeah.
How is that not tugging on your heart right there? Hands down, this could have been number one for me, but this is easily my number two.
Yeah, I was in the transition between adolescence and adulthood when I caught this one. So you got a little bit of both sides playing at you.
Yeah, I mean, this will make you believe. And, you know, that's what the point of some of these movies are. Like, I got just chills talking about that one. I got a little bit chills. That's nice. That was my number two. Number three. Number three. Four Christmases.
Ooh, I like this one.
This one's good. Speaking of comedies, and a more modern, blended families.
Orlando.
Obviously, some families ain't gonna make it, and that doesn't mean that at Christmas time there can't be situations. And this is just great. I feel like I know people like this couple, and this is funny, and again, it's got everything.
Another funny one.
Yeah, comedy, and this will pull on your heart right there. Yeah, I love watching this one. Can't wait. This one, A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Not on a lot of people's list. To be honest, maybe to this day and age, people, this is kind of boring.
It's like the OG. It's like the OG Christmas movie.
As there's the hype techno in the
Personally,
background.
I was first watched the Muppets version. Got that VHS at home.
And that is a great version. And then any version of this is something that I like, because there's actually a Mickey's Christmas Carol that is a good one. There's an animated one, I believe, with Jim Carrey that is a good one. So, but this one in particular, it's set, you know, in the 1800s, mid 1800s, early 1900s. I can't exactly tell, but it looks old. You know, just to me, this is a throwback. This has like origins of Christmas, and then, you know, the goes to Christmas past, present, and future. It's kind of like, you know, guidelines for like how you should live your life. Like it's just a blueprint for me. It's just, to me, this one, I can't get through the Christmas season without watching this. I have to see it.
Bomb.
But yeah, and then Scrooge, obvious. Yeah,
Yep.
You know.
Right.
This one, comedies. Man. Again, I love comedies, and this one, top shelf for me again.
Another one, right in the childhood for me.
Yeah, this one is absolutely wonderful. These guys played their roles well. And fun fact, I actually met Sinbad at a Bob Evans. Didn't actually think it was him. I was joking with a buddy, like, this guy over here looks like Sinbad. And then, like, people are taking pictures with him. I'm like,
what?
Holy shit, that guy's Sinbad. And then, like, went over and said, what's up? But I told him specifically, I loved him in this movie. Guy does a lot of things.
Yeah.
But to me, Sinbad right here. Jingle All the Way.
Jingle
This
All
one was
the
good.
Way.
This is my number 5.
Rounding it out.
Rounding it
We
out.
missed the graphic for number 6, but it's here in the summary.
Yeah. So my last one, Bad Santa. Who doesn't like Bad Santa, especially adult? You know, it's just a different spin on Christmas, and again, everybody
Adult humor.
Everybody can identify with a guy like that. They either know them or they are them. So, yeah, that's my list right there. I feel like that's pretty solid. Again, there's between both of our lists some classics that were left off.
We covered a good amount, but there's so many. Like, I'm sure there's some that missed. We're like, dang, we missed that one. But chat, we want to hear it in the chat. If you're watching, tell us your favorite Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
Don't wait. We want to see it.
And then I had one more slide there, Brian, if you want to just pull that up, if it's still there or not. So this one I feel like I'm supposed to like. I'm from Cleveland. This movie was filmed in Cleveland. It's filmed in neighborhoods that I've frequented many times. When they go downtown, I've been downtown Cleveland many times. I'm supposed to like this. Every part of me is supposed to like this. However, I don't. I'm just
Dang.
gonna go ahead and put that out there. However,
Ralphie's upset.
I will watch. I actually know people that look like Ralphie too.
Yeah, this one, I think a station dedicates the whole day on Christmas.
whole day.
Just plays this on repeat.
Yeah. And for that reason, it's a classic, and because it does that, and I know people like it, I'll watch it, and it's quotable too.
Yeah,
I know some
Shoot
stuff.
your eye out, kid.
And most notably to me, when they're in the Chinese restaurant at the end and they're singing the fa ra 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 ra. So to me, like, that's the best part of the movie. To me, it's kind of boring
because
and
it's
dry.
over and then I don't have to watch anymore.
Yeah, like
I don't
like,
mind it. It's
yeah.
not up there on my list, but
Yeah, it couldn't make my list, but I feel like the Cleveland in me, it's supposed to. But I do love seeing the neighborhoods. It's like, oh yeah, I've been down those streets, and you can still go to that house this day.
Yeah.
It's now dedicated as a little museum, and
I know a guy that was just there last year.
yeah, it's
Got one more
definitely a
slide.
classic.
Oh, there's
but-
your Bad Santa
Yeah,
slide. It ended up in the back, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're getting good at these graphics, but yeah, I put all these together. They fit in the box perfectly. I
Mhm.
made sure I found the right format.
Looks good. It looks good, man.
Merry Christmas, though,
Merry
man.
Christmas. You
Yeah,
fil-
Christmas
you
movies,
filthy
man.
animals. All right. Let's take a look here. Carrie recommends checking out Dear Santa with Jack Black. That's interesting.
Okay.
That's a new one, right? Isn't that out right
So
now?
I know nothing about that. I'm gonna have to go ahead and Google that. Jack Black, though, fan of his, so
Yeah, we got some fans of Silent Night, Deadly Night in the chat.
okay. The horror fans for
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Again, like I said, that's a respectable list. I don't know.
We're recommending trading Santa for Krampus and trading elves for reindeer. That's interesting.
Huh.
Anyway.
Well, yeah.
Man.
Well, that's our Christmas stuff.
Yeah, we're in the spirit.
Yeah, definitely. And my favorite holiday. I know you guys are big on the Halloween. I'm big on the Christmas. Just it represents endless possibilities.
Mhm.
Uh,
Speaking of Christmas, I think don't we have a special guest lined up?
so I have been telling people we got Santa's number. We're able to get Santa on the line. So you got everything lined up. We'll go ahead and see what we can do here.
I don't know. Is he just gonna call us? What's gonna happen?
I don't know how this works, man. Is he
Santa
on-
must have a
does
tight
Santa
schedule.
even have Skype? Does he have FaceTime? He didn't get me what I wanted one year. Maybe I can ask him about that.
Mhm.
There was one year I needed something, but he has came through for me a lot of times. And I wonder if he plays fantasy football.
I
But-
wonder.
Always been dying to ask Santa since this is that fantasy show.
I think I hear some jingle bells.
Wonder if he.
Is that in my head or is that real life?
No, I don't hear any jingle bells. Do you hear 'em?
I'm tripping, bro.
Dun, 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 dun. We should've
Jingle all the way. Maybe if we start singing, it'll show up.
We should have did Christmas songs.
Christmas songs.
That's what we should have did, a
Jingle
list of
bells,
Christmas songs.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin Lane.
My favorite's Last Christmas. Last Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas song? Right on the spot.
Just Christmas is like Darling Love or something, and it's in the Santa Claus movie.
Okay.
Christmas,
Yeah.
snow's coming down.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
by no means a singer or
I don't know if they
musically
do they
inclined.
play that on this local station. I don't know.
they play it. Anyway, I think I hear something.
Okay, well let's see. What do we got going on?
What's going on here?
Santa?
Holy crap.
Oh, Merry
Whoa!
Christmas. Thank you for having
Santa,
me
welcome
on
to that fantasy show.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh my god, I can't
Holy
believe we
crap.
actually got him on the line. We got some technical difficulties, but let's get that together. I think I know what the problem was on the sound. I got
Ho,
the sound
ho,
worked out.
ho.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Oh, Santa, you're glitching. All right. So Santa's on that fantasy show. So you got a question for him?
Santa, how long have you been playing fantasy football? Do you even like it? How long have you been playing?
I've been playing fantasy football for 90 years, and I'll
Santa, I
never
can't hear
forget
you.
that first year when that pesky Jack
think
Frost
you're
drafted Bronco
Oh,
Nagurski
Santa,
just ahead of
that's
me.
wonderful.
Ooh, I'll never live that down, but I've won 17 times. Anyways, fellas, gotta get back to the workshop. But this year I'm pulling for the Detroit Lions. They're on my nice list. And I can always love a team with a fight song. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Oh wow. Oh
Man,
wow.
Santa had a lot to say,
Oh wow. That
but not a
was
lot of time.
wonderful.
Yeah, oh man, Santa Claus, everybody.
Oh
Kris
my God! I
Kringle.
am so
Woo!
glad. I can't believe we pulled that off. Santa,
Yeah,
thanks
Santa.
for joining us.
I don't know, Skype got a little glitchy there at the beginning. He was like,
Yeah, I'm glad we figured that out, man. I
man,
can't believe
Santa
that.
Claus on the show. I can't believe it. Does that
Can't
mean we're
believe we
making
got-
it? Did we make it? I think we made it.
I feel like if you got Santa on your show, you definitely made it. We got him on before some of our friends. That's actually pretty awesome.
That's good. Damn, it's Santa Claus, everybody.
And people start taking us a little serious now.
Mm-hmm.
Got Santa on the show. Anyway,
A lot of love for Santa in the chat.
what do you think of my Gianna jersey here? My girl dad jersey. It's my daughter's birthday, so
Yeah.
girl dad, proud
You
girl
got the
dad.
Themes. You got every jersey for every occasion.
I do. I
really do.
consider myself a jersey guy. I have a collection of everything: movie jerseys, sports teams. We could do this whole wall with basketball jerseys, and you still wouldn't have a duplicate on here.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't have that many baseball jerseys. Fun fact: I don't like button-up baseball jerseys.
Oh yeah.
I miss the pullover jerseys from the 70s, early 80s with
Yeah.
no buttons. Yeah, I'll get jerseys like that. I think you have a Cabrera one like that.
Yeah, I got a Cabrera one like that.
Yeah.
It's got like
I
like
like
the
those.
'80s Tigers look, and then yeah, I got a Verlander button up, and then that Bobby Higginson. That's all.
Yeah,
I got.
all these days they're all button ups. It's hard for me to get behind that, but I don't know. I'm just too tall for it, I guess.
Getting the browser
Anyway.
here. We get into our regularly
So yes,
scheduled rankings.
since we are that fantasy show, we've farted around for a few minutes, but we are going to jump into some of the rankings this week because it is the final four
we got the Santa love in
of
the
the
chat.
fantasy playoffs.
We appreciate you. As always, Fantasy Pros Weekly, Week 16 PPR rankings, expert consensus. Get a little bit of the average, what everybody's thinking out there.
Fantasy Pros, our friends, thank you very much. We were going to jump into some of the rankings real quick. Obviously, the top people, you should have no worries. People that are Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. These guys are going to have good matchups this week. I wanted to talk about one guy real quick. Baker Mayfield, friend of the show. We've
Baker.
recommended him a few times.
Finally getting the love in the top 10.
I love
It's
it.
about time.
He was getting crapped on for about 2 years. Guy's doing his thing, having a good season. Wonderful
Man.
redemption story. Lets you know you can never be counted out as long as you still try. It's kind of how I
Waiver
feel.
wire edition for most people.
Yeah, and then go back down to his points for those last few games there. Just wanted to highlight how he's the last couple games there he's picking up. And then,
Yeah.
you know, Mike Evans is rolling along for him. They got two favorable matchups these next 2 weeks. So if you got Baker Mayfield and you're in your final four, this is a captain of the ship that I absolutely love.
Right here. I'm in the final four, Baker.
There you go.
Got to give him some credit where credit's
Brian
due.
knows 100%. You followed our own advice.
Yep. As
So-
I tend to do.
Another guy I wanted to highlight, Mr. Kyler Murray. He's coming in on the rankings at number 7 this week. I'm not necessarily a fan of him up and down, but I do love to keep it real, and he's got a wonderful matchup today. Had a pretty decent week the last 2 weeks. Not too exciting, but if I'm in the final four and this is my option, I'm okay with him this week.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd run with him if I had to.
Absolutely. And then still right around the top 10 at number 10, Jared Goff. Number 11,
Jared Goff.
Brock Purdy.
Jared Goff.
I got Jared Goff's got a decent matchup today, even though our friends at Fantasy Pros don't necessarily agree with me. I
Check
feel
that
like
line last week.
look at that
Yeah.
line last week. Even the last couple weeks, it's still a decent line for fantasy, but I feel like they're gonna have a little redemption this week. Like they got a little extra steam this week.
Little
They're gonna
steam. I mean, if the loss was gonna come, I think it came at the right time. Give them that fuel to make it through the rest of the season. That their game 17 at home with the Vikings is gonna be insane now. We need a win out from Chicago and San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, this week in Chicago, be a little nipply out there. We'll see how it goes.
I love it. I just love his matchup this week. And then again, like I was going to say, Brock Purdy, again, a decent matchup for him as well. Kind of like this, a guy who's getting a lot of like flack the last couple days, you know, or last couple weeks. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's like trying to bury the guy.
Kind of up and down. He bought his offensive line, a brand new fleet of Toyotas.
Yeah,
Saw that.
definitely saw that. You know, just seems like a good guy. Like, why? I mean, does everybody got to be Tom Brady to like be liked? Like, can't people just be like regular starting
Yeah,
quarterbacks
just
and have
average
fans?
Joe of
Um,
the NFL, Brock Purdy. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a tough tough year for San Francisco.
Injuries.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the Lions know all about that. So
I mean-
injuries, you got some lack of commitment from some of the players.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And like I said, especially with those injuries, your own performance is not going to do well if you're the quarterback and then your running backs and your receivers are hurt. Like, what do you want from the guy? But I like his matchup this weekend. I like him to have a little fire inside of him as well.
A few people on here already played. Bo Nix put up some solid numbers this week. Mahomes did pretty good. Man, we got some couple dice rolls out there. Herbert did all right already. So some of them they're out of the cards already. Or you got them and you started them and you're feeling pretty happy going into the rest of your matchup.
And then how about Michael Penix Jr. getting his first start?
NFL start. Hey, I was tempted to pick him up just to stash him.
So that might actually be a bad idea for our dynasty leagues.
So
But
he's only
anyway,
had a few snaps.
I love this young man. I feel like, he's going to be a fine NFL player on just everybody's first game. I don't really expect too much out of you, even though they say he has a good matchup this week and it's just the tanking New York Giants. I'd be a little
the
weary.
Falcons are like, you gotta kind of laugh at them, right? They signed Cousins like $140 million contract, and now the word is they're going to cut him before March to.
Yeah. Like I said
drop his
in the
bonus.
summer, if you wanted to go to Penix at any point, you didn't have to sign Cousins. You could have used that money to make the Falcons better, so when Penix does start, they're better.
Yeah, so it just looks even worse on them that he's starting so soon, and I mean your expensive safety net is.
And then picture if you're in in the Final Four of a fantasy playoffs, are you gonna start a first-time guy? Like you gotta
be the ultimate balls.
You gotta be ballsy to be in your Final Four. Michael Penix could be a great matchup though if you're desperate. Let's see. But anyway, we'll move on to running backs.
Running backs, you got the usual cast here in the top 10.
Again, great matchups. Mr. Jameer Gibbs with not having to share too much with David Montgomery.
I don't know. People are saying he's going to go off this week. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant. I'm not. I don't think the Lions are that predictable, to be honest. Maybe they stick with them, but who knows? Anything could happen.
Well, I'm going against him in fantasy, and I hope you're right there. But I'm on the train where I expect him to just have a huge. I could easily see 150 and 2 touchdowns, and that would break my heart. But yeah, expect him to have a big day. And then again, Bijan, that's a great matchup for him. I do like that for him, even though the rookie quarterback, but still.
Right. And they're just going to rely more on him. So
absolutely. And then, in the top 5 there, Mr. Chase Brown, good matchup at home against the Browns. James Connors had a good couple week run here. He's going against Carolina.
H-Chan's been solid. Hubbard and Williams, they've been real, risers this year in fantasy. I went in and put them in the top 10 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and they're top 10 right now at the end of the year.
How about Derrick Henry? 160 rushing yards yesterday.
That was a phenomenal
No
game
touchdowns,
yesterday.
still put up 20 fantasy points in PPR formats.
Yeah, that felt fun watching that football game yesterday. That was a hard-nosed NFL
With a lot
game.
of duds over in the college world. Those home teams dominate it.
Yeah.
Not much competition going on there. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's not like that in future years.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but that was refreshing to see. And then still in the teens-ish range, there's still some good matchups there. Jerome Ford, obviously that's a better matchup. He's going against the Bengals defense, and this guy doesn't have to share with Nick Chubb as he's out with an injury for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so
he did solid last week. So
I like his matchup for the remaining 2 games. So if you
Bengals,
have
Dolphins.
him, he's a guy I would start if I had to.
What's
again-
his availability? Is he available in some leagues still?
So
74% roster. You might get lucky if you're still in the hunt for a championship and you need a guy.
yeah, I feel like people in the Final Four locked and loaded. But if you got an injury or something that you're dealing with, there's still some guys. Seattle, I don't know exactly what's going on. Kenneth Walker, he is getting the start today, but maybe he's sharing more with Zach Charbonnet, and he's had a good couple weeks there. So that's a situation you got to be careful of if you have either of those
I'd
backs.
be very weary of either of them, but I think you start one if you got him.
Yeah, I'm in that scenario, and I'm still torn. I'll decide later. Amir Abdullah, Las Vegas, he's getting a lot of the work. So
You got
and-
Madison back though.
yeah,
That's real. I mean, if you're looking down this far, you're feeling really,
yeah. There's
really nervous.
There's some scenarios, but there's some decent matchups there. San Francisco's Patrick Taylor. If you got somebody that you got to fill in that last spot. But again, if you're that deep, that means you're
Yeah.
probably looking flex or 3 running backs, and I'd rather start a receiver. So we can segue over to the wide receiver rankings real quick. We got everything lined up. Again, these top guys, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, specifically love those 3 today. Huge games expected out of them for me. Devontae Adams, number 8. That's a guy. They're playing for a lot of
Definitely
pride
on the
there.
rise. I mean, if you have Adams on your team and you rostered him all year, you might not have made the playoffs just because he
That's a
didn't
good
have that
point.
output early. He had the, I don't know, I'll call it the phantom hamstring injury when he was traded. Miraculously healed when he gets to the Jets. But
Yeah.
then the Jets did Jets
It's
things.
that New York air, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. The last couple weeks, man, this guy has been on fire, and you're running with him if you got him.
That's awesome. Again, like I said, they're playing for so much pride. He's had a great last 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
Like I said, they just probably want to go out with a bang, be ready for next year. Expect a big week out of him. Also, like Drake London. I think that's a matchup there.
Yeah,
If-
London's been the clear number 1 guy there in Atlanta. I
And if-
traded for Moody. He was like, Moody,
Yeah.
Moody. Yeah, Mooney. I don't know. He's kind of been a dud the last few weeks. He's had some flashes of relevancy in the fantasy world, but I think you can't go ahead and start Mooney anymore if you're really fighting for a
and
championship.
if Penix is going anywhere, he's going to London. So,
Right.
I mean, he's at least going to try a little bit there.
couple guys
there's-
that played already on the list.
Yeah, and there's still obviously some good matchups here. We've seen guys like Jordan Addison have good games.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings have good games. Devonta Smith even having a
Yeah.
good last
Adam
week here.
Thielen's
So
had a couple good games.
well, that's a good point. Carolina looks like they're getting things together, and that's a matchup where there could be some points too. So Adam Thielen, I'd be confident starting him. Great matchup.
Few guys have been hit or miss. Metcalf, Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up Harrison Jr. Like I had him for the number 1 pick in our dynasty league, and I haven't confidently started him any week. Any week, there hasn't been one
No.
week where I
He
put him in the
comes-
lineup. and
Comes
I
out
was-
the gate 0.9. Then you bench
Yeah.
him 27. You're
Yep.
like, what the fuck?
And then I started him a few weeks after that. Nothing. I watch Red Zone. I can't say I watch these whole games, but it's like Kyler Murray just treats this dude like he's just a regular receiver. Like, why would you draft this guy so high if you're not even going to use him? Is that if you just wanted to like have a decoy or something, you could have got somebody much cheaper. Like I just feel like they're doing this kid injustice, and it looks like it's on purpose. And I'm
knows?
going to stand on that. He had a specific thing after a game where he said it's not my job to get him the ball, and actually I believe that is, but it
You
is
gotta
what
fight
it
for
is.
yourself a little bit.
Not a fan of that guy, but if you have him, I'm not happy about starting him this week. So hopefully you're deeper somewhere else. After that, it gets real thin. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd take some chances on some guys,
Dart
but like,
throws.
it's-
Coker, another Carolina guy. Rookie had a good week last week.
yeah,
I don't
that was an impressive performance.
Worthy down there at 44, and this guy put up some good numbers last week too. So that just goes to show you the rankings aren't the Bible when it comes to fantasy football. You got to use your gut sometimes, and that's gonna make or break your matchup.
Yeah, and then 30 to 50 ranking, like it's pretty much equal-ish. You're just going to want to dive deeper into matchup and maybe look at what you're going against.
Right.
Maybe,
Odds are stacked against you, but you could have a performer in there.
and then we'll just round this out real quick with a look at the tight ends.
Okay, sneak a peek at tight end.
I wanted to bring up how Mr. Jonnu Smith at number 4. I picked this guy up off the waiver wire. He is tight end number 1 in the last 10 weeks.
Wow.
Tight end number 1, just the last 10 weeks only. He was available on the waiver wire. I think I picked him up like week 10. So, maybe week 9.
Check
I don't
that
know.
game log.
But just unbelievable season. The guy came out of nowhere. He's just consistent. We talked in the early season how this position, it's tough to have someone that's going to get you consistently
Yeah,
10,
rocky start.
15 points.
I mean, they were without Tua, and now definitely a favorite target. He's getting 11 targets 3 of the past 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely
Again,
phenomenal for a tight
a
end.
great home matchup, and then I don't necessarily like his matchup the following week, but I gotta hope I can get through this week first. But again, and then the top 4 tight ends there, they've been wonderful all season. TJ Hawkinson, he's back and healthy, so hopefully he gets going. Wonderful year last year.
If you start Dalton Schultz, you're feeling good. This guy put up some solid numbers yesterday.
Absolutely.
13 points. You got to take that from a tight end.
Yeah, and look at the targets too. That was wonderful. That was a good game to watch too. That had a lot of everything in it too. Yeah, that was.
It's just another typical Chiefs. They're
Chiefs were chiefing.
nothing else to say about it.
They said, "Wait a minute! Not only was
Let's
that,
take a second here. And
we're
talk
gonna
a
go
little-
ahead and put a roughing the passer penalty
Yeah.
on them too."
Yeah, let's talk a little defense. Defensive strategy when it comes to fantasy playoffs. I think you got to throw loyalty out the window, and you're straight matchup dependent. What do you think? Streaming the defense to get you a championship?
Absolutely. I stream all year long. I look for the best matchups each week, and then people also drop defenses during bye weeks. You can pick up a good defense anytime you want.
Yeah.
I specifically planned for these last 2 weeks just in case I got to this point. You want to plan for this. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be cocky or anything, but you want to plan for the playoffs. I've ended up with Buffalo's defense. Here they are ranked number 3 for this week, which boded well for me. I like their matchups the next 2 weeks. So
Buffalo.
I've been targeting,
Oh, yeah.
can I get them for these next 2
The
weeks?
Jets one might be scary if they
It could
click
be.
the way they have.
It could be. It's at home, which I feel a little better about, but I felt better when I ended up with Buffalo. And I usually don't roster 2 defenses. There was a good 2-3 weeks
Yeah.
where I rostered 2 because I knew I needed Buffalo for these last 2 weeks.
Sometimes I will roster 2 based on matchups. If you got like kind of a back and forth, like juicy matchups, if I have the roster room, I'll hang on to them.
That's a good point if you're in this Final Four, to be prepared for next week. There's
Yeah.
no problem trying to be prepared. It's not looking ahead, but you just don't want to do yourself an in-service for the future if you have a future lucky enough to
And
be in the
some
final.
league settings come into play. If you're running a league that it's wide open waivers for everybody, it's definitely you're sweating even more to get a defense because like
Absolutely.
the salty dudes might be out there just trying to screw you, or you could be in a
Absolutely.
league that prevents that. Either way, different strategies to go.
Absolutely. And there's some wonderful matchups this week. Obviously, we had a defense yesterday get 18 points. So there's times where these defenses are only going to get 5 or 6 points, but there's times where it's money time and they're going to get 18, 20. Maybe someone gets a pick 6, and
Yeah,
that's how you
Oh,
can win a
gosh.
championship.
complete wild card these defenses. If they score a touchdown, all bets are off.
Absolutely. And how do you feel about the show, man? I feel like we're rolling. I
Dude.
can't believe we had Santa.
I know Santa on the show. I feel we're at the peak of our potential right now.
We're rolling. It's
Yep.
been a wonderful season. Like I said, a lot of people quit after 4 or 5 episodes. Dude, I can't believe we made it this far.
16.
It's number
a
16.
whole
We've
NFL
probably done like 18 things because we did the Thanksgiving one.
I think I counted that in the numbers. So
Either way, man, we're rolling. We're doing what we set out to do.
yeah,
Following is small, but I don't think I really had a number in mind for
No.
following. I just set out to do this. Here we are.
here we are.
Anyway, it started with the Closing with Steve Dynasty League.
Yeah, we got the whole
Maybe
off season to hype it up for
Yeah.
season 2.
Like,
of
season
that
2 will
fantasy
be
show.
wonderful. But anyway, speaking of the Closing with Steve Dynasty League, which was the start of all of this, let's peek in as we are in the Final Four. Brian and myself, and also Damian Grimm, who's a friend of the show, and Mr. Gary Vroom Jr., also a friend of the show.
There's the matchups.
So
Last 4 teams standing. Damien's Miami is. Yours truly, Haddonfield Slashers. Got Gary's Allenville Meme Machine, and then Mike Amen's Elyria Pioneers.
Pioneers are up against
Hey.
it today.
Elyria High School. Pioneers the mascot, hey.
Absolutely.
That's small world. Guy I work with said he's from Elyria. He said he's got his Pioneers jacket still.
Out here.
How crazy is that?
Such a small world out
Yeah.
here, outside of Detroit. He works with a guy in the city. Elyria is a pretty big city, about 55,000. We used to have 2 high schools, but we only have 1 now. They merged together, brand new high school. Anyway, just always loved the logo.
You got the actual logo there too?
That is the school logo. That is PD Pioneer right there. That's my guy.
Right here.
I'll get
Yeah.
some merch soon. I always say I'm going to get some merch. Just wish I could get some Nike stuff. Should go get one of those jerseys. That'll be nice to throw on
Yeah.
the wall. I don't know how you can come across that. I feel like I can make that happen. But as we peek into these matchups, so you have already had 1 guy in your matchup, and Miami, Damian, has had 2 in his matchup. You're still projected here. How do you feel about your matchup here?
I'm just fixing the window a little bit, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. the two that Damien had going. I think his defense put up more than expected. Same with one of the receivers he had. He just kind
Absolutely.
of
And
transitioned the screen over.
with Aaron Rodgers had an excellent week the last couple weeks, man. That
Dude,
could go
anything could
either
happen.
way.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, 15 points. He was projected 12. Baltimore, there's an instance of the defense scoring a touchdown.
Yep.
Pick 6 later in the game. Propelled them forward to that 18 points.
That's what
versus
can
10
swing a
projection.
matchup right there.
I mean, I feel good about Henry. 20 points, that's even without a touchdown. If he would have had a touchdown, I would feel a little more comfortable. But I don't know. There's so much game left to be played. I mean, he's got, 8 guys left to my 9, so it could go either way.
And it is heavily in your favor there, but at least you have a guy at Sunday night, Mr. CeeDee Lamb there, and Baker Mayfield. So we're not going to know till the end of the night. It looks like most of his lineup
Yeah,
is
we
going to
got
be
some-
out the way kind of early there.
think
So
The defense I picked up the Monday night one, so we could be sweating this out till Monday night. We don't know. We'll see
Yeah,
how today plays out.
this is going to be a decent matchup, and as both of these guys are trying to make it to the final. Yeah, like I said, you're locked and loaded. That's how you built your team. Those are the guys that you wanted.
Yep.
I feel like taking the flyer on Thielen, that might have been
Well, yeah, I mean,
high on your list there, but
the receiving core has been decimated. Godwin was fired at the beginning of the year, and then season-ending injury. And then Olave, he's kind of been hit or miss for me, but then the concussions have kind of knocked him out for the season. No pun intended. God dang, that was rough.
hold on.
Sorry, I hope you're better, man. And then who else? I traded for Mooney, and then or Moody,
Moody.
Mooney, whatever.
Jake
You know who I'm
Moody.
talking about. But he's
Absolutely.
I don't know, taking a backseat to London there.
And then
Atlanta.
Mr. Damien, like I said, he's dealt with some stuff there, and he's going with Aaron Rodgers there in the final. So that could go either way, but
I don't know. Herbert did all right at quarterback. Had him on the bench.
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Well, he had to decide between Rodgers and letting Russ cook, and I think he took Rodgers.
Let's check in on our other matchup here.
So in my personal matchup, I'm a little nervous because I needed a little more from Nico. I was hoping Nico Collins could get me a touchdown.
You think he would have with that Tank Dell injury? The thing was brutal. If you saw that, the
Yeah.
kneecap was not where it was supposed to be.
I'm a huge Tank Dell fan. That was tough. Injuries are a part of the game, and
But you thought that would have boosted Nico Collins for the rest of the game, and it really didn't. I mean, he's kind of had that.
that
Most of
Kansas
his
City
points in the first
defense, it's actually pretty good. We crap on them a lot, but they could cover receivers pretty well. Not saying that it was great, but yeah, he couldn't get much going after that. They were able to that's how Dalton Schultz got off, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, Nico Collins was doing better when Tank Dell was in the game. But I'll weather that storm, and he has obviously Mahomes. I'll take that 26 from Mahomes, no big deal. But the real thing I'm worried about, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like I said, I expect a huge game out of him. They're just going to feed him. I think the Lions are going to score 40 something if they get close and they got to run it in. I think it's going to
Yep.
be him. Like I'm absolutely freaking nervous.
Got a heavy Lions team, Laporta and Gibbs versus a heavy Bengals team over here. Burrow, Brown, Chase.
So that was never my plan. Burrow and Chase was my plan, but I did draft Chase Brown
Yeah.
when he was unheard of rookie. He's been on my roster the whole time in this league.
Really? Wow.
But I was just waiting for him to develop, and yeah, he's obviously a top 5 running back. My receivers are heavy. I love these guys. I'm locked and loaded there, so I feel like I've put my best team forward. If you want to bring up the bench there, I did have some thoughts. Am I starting Charbonnet with him and Walker sharing today? I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I read it.
The San Francisco running back situation is a mess. I have 4 on my roster that says Garundo is out. So Patrick Taylor, okay, I don't want to trust him. Israel Abanikanda,
Look at
that's hard to say.
San Francisco running back. San Francisco running back. That's how
Man.
you got to play, man. Next
So-
guy up, have him on your roster.
And that team, they use the running back position. I don't care what the guy's name is. Who's starting in San Francisco? I want to start them. However, with a championship on the line, I'm more comfortable in letting James cook, and I also have Chase Brown. So I'm going to die on my sword here if I go out. This is the best roster I can put forward.
Yeah.
I've
These 1
obviously-
p.m. matchups are going to be key in this. The Lions taking on the Bears, Bengals taking on the Browns.
Absolutely. And then
Deep-rooted
his matchup,
rivalries.
Puka Nacua, obviously the second-ranked receiver this week. I'm a little nervous there again. At least it's a road game. Maybe that can help me out. I actually didn't check what the weather was doing in New York, but
What's the weather doing?
maybe that can help me out. But again, Gary, he runs a fine ship here. Obviously, he made it to the finals last year. Just on a personal note, last year in my last regular season matchup, it was me versus Gary, and he won, and that kept me out of the playoffs. But it did take me to the number 1 seed, and that got Gary in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was me versus Gary in the championship last year.
Yeah, so
It could be a repeat. I don't know.
could be a repeat, or is
Could
it going to
be-
be a That Fantasy Show final, or is it just going to be, are we not even in the final? Are we going to be shut out the final?
It could be. We could
that-
have those
that could happen.
guys coming in stale.
But
We rested our players.
we'd be lying, though, if we said we didn't want to be in the final together. That is the goal.
With the inaugural season of That Fantasy Show, I think that would be the cherry on top. So
And like I
I'm
said,
rooting for us. I don't know.
this league's
Always
hard too.
nervous.
It ain't easy. These guys aren't rolling over for us.
No.
We got to earn this. Whoever wins this league every year is going to earn it. As you know, last year, the reigning champ.
Yeah, it's anybody's game. You get in that playoffs, you can win it. I mean, last year I think I was 7-7. I think Gary's team was too. It looks like 2 500 teams playing for all the marbles.
And I've been locked and loaded. I've studied all summer. Like I said, I read so much content during the week. Sometimes I'm like overloaded.
Yeah, it's easy to.
But I definitely do my homework. And I prepared to be here. I manifested being here. And it's the Final Four. So. And then if we just want to round out, I got a couple bets. Feel like we could just talk about a couple
can talk
bets
some
real
bets.
quick. Betting record.
First and Goal League, we still got
Oh,
a family
yeah.
member in that. Allie's team. She's got a key matchup with. She's going against her dad, Russ.
Do you want to check it out? Pull up the browser if you can real quick. We'll check out the First and Goal League. We haven't looked in on that in here in a little while.
Yeah, they're
Definitely.
fantasy deep in the fantasy playoffs.
Definitely didn't mean to not check in on them. Let's take a look at where we're at as we're in the Final Four. I did see Umair this week. He said he lost last week.
Yeah,
Good luck to whoever he lost to. He wasn't sure who he lost to, and
pull up the scoreboard.
I haven't looked in that league. Once I was out, good luck to everybody else.
Let's see
That's cool, though.
here.
I hope we have everybody back in that league.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. And if not, got Nathan on deck. We're going to get Nathan into this next year. Get my son going in some fantasy.
That's what it's all about. Just bonding experience for everybody.
And personally, I like growing the game. Whether it's fantasy or anything, I like spreading the word, man. Let's get more eyes on this.
So here we go. 2 of the final teams standing. Devil's Den versus Moomoo's Menacing Monster. That's former is my dad's team, and the latter, that's Kyle. This one, 50-50 right now. I think,
This could go either way.
yeah, Xavier Worthy, 20 points. Bo Nix, 20.
How about-
Kickers doing all right.
How about that, man? Your dad's having fun?
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
it's his first fantasy league.
Yeah, like
ever.
I said, we're growing the game. Dude, literally right here. This is us putting people on. That's amazing.
Then our other matchup, we got a father-daughter matchup.
Oh, wow.
Russ
On
versus
Girl
Allie.
Dad Day.
Girl Dad Day.
Oh, my God. Russ, do the right thing. Just roll over.
Make some questionable roster decisions.
Roll over. Have you heard about Michael Penix Jr.? Go
Oh,
ahead and
man.
start this guy. No, this is a wonderful matchup. Congrats to these guys to making it to the Final Four. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's hard to get here,
Yeah,
right?
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the family league.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I put effort in that league. It wasn't my best effort, but
Yeah.
I did put some effort.
Put the effort into the closing bell, missed the playoffs. Best of luck to those 4 playoff teams.
Yeah, congratulations. Round of applause. Anybody in their Final Four this week, good luck. Round of applause, even getting this far. But usually, winning this week means you're into some money. Most leagues have a second place prize. So.
You're in the money, and here's the betting segment.
Speaking of money, 51%. I'll
Squeaking
stand on
over
it.
Yep.
I'll stand on it. I don't care. That's my name, mostly. Brian's had a couple contributions.
Yeah, I'm probably 500 too. with
His
my
are a little more
contributions.
green, probably, than mine. But
Not after last week.
I'm not doing too bad, but I stand on it. And then again, I've called some plus money line games. Again, I'm not just giving you easy things. I'm not picking Chiefs money line, Lions money line
No,
at minus
that's-
500 odds.
I like the plus odds, and I think that's where we're going to make.
I'm putting some effort in, and that's the theme of this week. I'm standing on that. So, speaking of this week, everybody will tell you the Giants are terrible. The Falcons are going to win. It's a whole consensus everywhere. I did some studying last night. I couldn't find anybody backing the Giants to win. But I don't have the stones to do it either. But because of that, also 92% of the public money is on the Atlanta Falcons money line. Again, me when it's 90% money, I think this is where Vegas looks to get their thing.
Conspiracies come in, right?
Speaking of that,
Drop one of these every once in a while, and they'll make back.
If you take out the 8 o'clock game, there's 11 games today, not counting the 8 o'clock game that I've looked on the money line or the public money. 11 of the 13 games, 90% or more of the public money is on one team.
Wow.
There is absolutely no way our friends in Las Vegas are just letting us all have a free Christmas. They're not just giving out free Christmases, everybody.
They can if they want, though.
They're not just going to say make an 11-leg parlay with these teams that everybody thinks is obviously going to win, and then here, go get your last-minute Christmas gifts tomorrow. It's not happening. There's going to be some upsets today. They're going to turn some heads.
Sounds tempting, though.
I'm not saying this one is one, but given those reasons,
I don't know. That Falcons game last week was like 6-9 or something.
Yeah,
something horrible,
unbelievable. So, given those reasons, I'll take the Giants in the points. 8.5 points. That's a lot of points. Rookie quarterback, first start. I don't care if it's at home. I don't care who else is on the team. Kirk Cousins with that team wasn't looking good. That guy's an NFL veteran.
Yeah, looks like you got an even split on the money line or the spreads. There.
The spread, it's pretty split where people are betting on the spread, but
all right.
But,
so take that with what you will.
So yeah, I'm taking the Giants in the points. Same thing here. 90% of the money line is on the Rams, or money is on the Rams money line. Okay, the Jets are at home. Aaron Rodgers is, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Devontae Adams, Hall of Fame receiver. I don't know what I'm missing
on the wrong side of the spread last week with that late Devontae Adams, like 60-yard touchdown or something.
Yeah.
That's a heartbreaker when you got some money in it and you're watching. Like, damn.
Tough to go out like that.
Yeah. Like, come on, dude.
But come on, 3 points. I think this game could be close. It could very well someone wins by 3, but I'll take the Jets in the points.
It tempts you to take the money line in the Jets.
I'm tempted, but the next one is where I got more stones.
You got two playoff hopefuls.
I'll take the points on those two, but this one, again, 92% of the money line is on the Minnesota Vikings to win on the road in Seattle. Do you know how hard it is to win in Seattle? I don't care how good their team is. That place is loud. It's
Seattle's
cold.
coming off a NFC North loss to the. Who did they play last week?
Is it Arizona? I don't know.
They lost to the
Rams.
No, the other NFC North
49ers.
Not the
What
Bears.
are we doing?
The Packers. They lost to the Packers last week.
Packers.
Yeah, the Seahawks got. I think they had 3 of the 4 NFC North teams here towards the end of the year.
And they're still in a division fight too, right?
Yeah.
And to
They
me,
got a lot to play for. I mean, the Vikings they're right there with the Lions, same record. So
Vikings are a wonderful team, having a great season. However, would you say they're overperforming?
Vikings.
Yes.
I mean, they're much over expectations.
Yeah. So, just
I don't know. Geno Smith was he horrible last week? So I don't know. It's
this to me, all the signs point to this. Just could be obvious.
I don't know. I kind of personally lean towards the Vikings still, but I like your analysis.
I got the Stones, and I love being different here. But again, there's 11 out of 13 games, not counting the 8 o'clock game, where 90% of the public money is on one or the other money line. So this one, I thought it should be a little less than that. I mean, this to me, it could kind of go either way. Maybe I'd lean more towards the Vikings if I'm being logical.
I think the Vikings are.
Their defense is really
I
good.
don't know. Both teams have just as much to play for. The Vikings are trying to win the NFC North. Seattle's just trying to get into the playoffs still.
Seattle can still win their division. They're still.
I guess, yeah, just
they're
as much.
literally right there. Yeah, that's what I said. This.
Not everybody's NFC North.
this could go either way here, and I got the Stones to say that.
All right. Well, that's the record again.
Yeah. So either way, I stand on it. It is what it is. A lot of people aren't gonna do the style that I do. People could sit up here, like I said. Chiefs are 50. What are the Chiefs? They only lost once. What are the Lions? They only lost twice. Could have been here.
What's that stat? There's 4 teams this year that have not put up over 31 points. 3 of them have 2 or 3 wins, and then there's the Chiefs. I have 12 now, 13.
Yeah.
13 wins. Like, What the heck?
Unbelievable. He said Chiefs always going Chief.
14. Is it 14 now? Yeah, we were week 16. They played 15 games. Yeah, so they're 14.
Unbelievable.
15 and 1.
I hope they lose the last week because the Bengals need a little help. They're still alive for the playoffs,
14 and 1.
and the only thing that's going to help is the Bengals got to win out. The Broncos got to lose out, which the Bengals play the Broncos next week. So
Yeah.
that would be
I
helping
think
that.
Dallas is still not mathematically eliminated, but the
Oh my
Stars
God, yeah.
really have to align for them.
Yeah, there's still a lot in the works here for the last couple weeks of the NFL season, specifically the last 2 weeks of the fantasy football season. There's a lot going on, man, and this is the most exciting time of the year besides the Christmas season. Yeah, this is where it's go time. And if your team is lucky enough to still be playing meaningful December football, that's a blessing, as you're getting to experience that around here that you haven't in most of your life. And
Yeah.
the early part of my Bengals fandom never really experienced it, but again, here we are right here, meaningful December games. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
So what do you say, man?
I think that's a wrap. That was a good episode. We had
Feel
a
like
lot
we
in
did it.
there. We flowed nicely.
Christmas
Content was
movies?
fire. And I love those holiday specials.
I like that. And everybody has a favorite Christmas movie, whether people chimed in with us or not. People have favorites. It's nice to hear. I was asking people outside the box anyway. I had a little list. Pretty much everything that was on our lists was on the list except the OG Grinch, the animated cartoon Grinch.
Oh yeah.
That was on my list a couple times. Wasn't
Yeah.
on either of our lists.
The
Those are
newer-
classics.
Yes, the kids though, they'll be up there. Archer loves that latest animated Grinch.
I actually like that too. That one's cute.
That one, it may or may not play once a day in this house.
And I like any variation of that. There's a lot of these movies. I like Christmas with the Cranks. That's a good one. So there's just endless possibilities with that. There's channels dedicated to that right now. It's just the season, and there was too many to put on my list. I could have easily
many.
turned it into 10, and then we turned it into 12, and then it's just a whole show about that. So
Yeah.
even again here at the end, I just threw it in again.
That's all right. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
Thank you for joining us for another week of That Fantasy Show. Rolling into the Christmas holiday. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy holidays to everybody else.
Good luck in your fantasy matchups, everybody. I hope you win. Merry Christmas. Joy to the world.